As the title says, I am now 2 years in on my porn-free lifestyle. That might be confusing to some of you who might be like, yo, you're supposed to be Mr. NoFap, but if you've just subscribed to me or have subscribed to me in the past year, you probably are not aware of the videos that I did where I talked about relapsing on occasion. My relapsing was like 1 to 3 times per month. And while I know that's not a lot of times, and it's definitely nothing compared to the 3 times per day that I was doing when I was super addicted to pornography, you don't have to do something 24/7, 365 in order for it to be an addiction. You just have to do it in spite of the negative consequences. I knew what those negative consequences were, and I still indulged, even though it was just 1 to 3 times per month. I still indulged. So in this video, I'm just going to talk about my experience these past couple of years, why I decided to embark on this journey, the lessons that I've learned, the benefits that I've gained, and any struggles if I have had any. So the number one reason I would say that I decided to embark on this journey was I didn't like how my indulging in pornography affected my relationships with women in the real world. I didn't like that I essentially was shown this like picture perfect woman on pornography websites, only to be met in real life by women who will never reach that expectation or those standards simply because those are manufactured. So it's like you can't expect a woman to be this like ideal fantasy porn star woman because women aren't like that in real life. And so when you show your mind that like this is what a woman is over and over and over, for me in my case anyways, you're kind of like not interested, or you kind of lose interest in women who aren't like that. And that was a problem for me. I didn't want to admit it, but that was a problem for me. So I knew that that was happening, and I was tired again, like I said, of how it was playing out. I didn't want to be this guy who just couldn't connect with a woman emotionally simply because she's not meeting these unrealistic expectations. So it had to go. I had to kick it out of my life. And so I'm happy to say that it has had a very tremendous impact on me from an emotional and relationship standpoint these past 2 years. The next reason I decided to get pornography out of my life for good was the simple fact of I don't like anything having any sort of control over my being, any vice whatsoever. If you know me personally, you know that I don't even drink coffee, simply because I don't like what it does to people. They can't live without it. And so pornography was that same thing for me. It would be like, 1 to 3 times a month isn't that much, but when you look at it from a bird's eye view, you see a trend, you see a pattern that Seth still can't get this out of his system because every few days or few weeks, he still looks at pornography. And that was like a bummer for me. I didn't like the idea that I couldn't shake this. I started having, not fear, well, I guess fear is the right word. I started having fear that I truly might not ever be able to kick this out of my life. Like, it has been a very long time that I've still indulged in this toxic behavior. So I really wanted to address that. I didn't want to have something looming over me, controlling me, something that I couldn't just kick out of my system for good. So that was the second biggest reason that I decided to get rid of pornography. Next, the benefits. I know that this is a juicy topic for a lot of people. I'm gonna give you an answer that you might not even like, but it's the truth. No porn is not enough. It's simply not. You can get some benefits from it, and I'll talk about that in a few, but it's really not enough. It's like a good head start. Full-blown semen retention, or NoFap hard mode, as some of you like to call it, truly is the way to peace, happiness, internal balance. It really is. This was further confirmed in a book that I read called Cupid's Poisoned Arrow. I highly, highly recommend you check out that book. I'm gonna leave a link to that in the description. I know at this point in my heart that it truly is just full-blown semen retention that will bring you to that level or to that state of nirvana, if that's even a word I can use, that people so desperately try to achieve on this journey. Like I said, no porn is a great start, but it's not the only answer. The benefits that I've gotten, and really it's just one benefit that I've gotten from doing no porn for 2 years, I would say is just mental clarity. That's it. I'm like super clear. That's probably the biggest thing. I'm not thinking about pornography. I'm not thinking about not thinking about pornography. It's just I don't think about it. I feel probably like I'm a little bit more alert and more clear. But that's not really a benefit if you can't put it to use. So let's talk about some of the downsides. What I found was that my procrastination increased and my desire to like watch Netflix and eat sweets increased. I'm not saying that that's a direct result of being on no porn, but again, taking a bird's eye view perspective on this, those are the three things or two things, whatever I just said, that have been shown to me the most. That I felt like I was procrastinating a whole hell of a lot more, and I felt like I was indulging in sweets and Netflix. It's almost like your brain is trying to overcompensate for that lack of dopamine it's getting from not looking at pornography. So it's trying to find new ways and new exciting ways that it can get that, get that rush, get that hit. So I guess a reverse benefit to all of this, if you will, is that it's revealed me unto myself. It's pretty much just dug up all of my other vices, other challenge areas, other problems in my life for me to now work on. So those are things that I am currently trying to work on, engaging less in watching Netflix. Now, to my defense, I do edit photos a lot. And so when I'm editing photos, I watch Netflix in the background just to have something playing. However, I could always put on like a podcast or something like that. So yeah, that's probably the other benefit, that it's just shown me all my other skeletons, if you will, things that I know that I need to work on a little bit more. Other than that, I don't want to lie to you and say that I've experienced all these other benefits from doing no porn. I think I'm still realistically just getting more benefits from being on this nofap journey for so long. I'm still reaping those benefits from that journey. But the no porn, you know, it's nice to be able to say that, look, I don't look at pornography anymore. It's nice to say that there's nothing that has a hold over me in that regard. But there really hasn't been too much of a change. I will say that just in general, I'm extremely proud of myself. I'm extremely happy that I don't have this thing, this drug that's controlling me anymore. I don't have the urge to look at it. I don't have the urge to think about it. It just isn't a part of my life. And so it's kind of like I'm shedding these things off one by one, all the things that I feel are weighing me down and preventing me from being my best self. To sum up my thinking about this, porn is the issue. Porn is a huge problem. If anything on this nofap journey, get porn out of your life. That has to go first, because that is what is messing up your mind. It's throwing you off balance. Pornography is a drug and you need to stop. I would rather a whole world of people masturbating without porn than a whole world of people who are masturbating to porn. Get porn out of your life. It is not worth it, and you will experience benefits. You might not have the same experience as me just because I've been on the nofap journey for so long, but you'll feel proud of yourself. You'll feel, and like I feel actually, that because I can get something like pornography out of my life, there's so much more that I can do. There's so much more like confidence that I have in my ability to perform in so many other areas of life simply because I've gotten this out of my system. So I hope that you guys take my word on this. I hope you guys are doing well on your personal journeys. Feel free, as you guys tend to do, to leave your experiences. Where are you at on your journey? What have you learned? What are your struggles? Just share with us, because that's what this is all about. It's a community of us trying to do better for ourselves by getting these toxic behaviors and toxic drugs out of our lives, essentially. All right, guys, that's all I got for now. I will do a follow-up video, more like a Q&A at some point, so just stay on the lookout for that. Otherwise, I will talk to you later. Peace.